All right. Shalom, shalom. Like to first and foremost start by giving infinite praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Like they say, Shalom, Washem, Kabah, God, Walla Rakab, Zaquayim Nawa, Wahashalayakim Nawa, which of course is double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakarim, Shah, Yasha Allah, which is peace and blessings unto the elect. I'm the brother that would die from the DC Church, back with another short lesson through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and Lord's will. I'll entitle this, Invest in Your Faith. Okay? Invest in your faith. All right? And, I just got a couple of precepts just to match that, because it just made me think about investing in general. You got these big name billionaires like George Soros and Warren Buffett, all right, who essentially became rich by making, intelligent financial decisions. And so, I was thinking about that on the right-hand side, and in the spirit, we have to make intelligent spiritual decisions, okay? And so this truth, all right, essentially, it's like a stock, all right? It's like a stock that is worth investing into, okay? It's like one of those things where it starts off small and people don't really see the value in it until all is said and done. All right. But by the time all is said and done, it's going to be too late, man. You see? So that's why it's important to put all your eggs in this basket. Okay. They say that that's not a good idea in the world. All right. But when it applies to the spirit of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, all right, we know that that's the only way. Okay, there is no plan B. All right, the only plan B is to make plan A work. All right, which plan A is enduring until salvation, Lord willing. Okay, so I'm gonna read a couple of precepts, Lord willing, this be edifying unto the elect. The first one I have here, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 6. It says, but I say, he that soweth sparingly, so let me remove the underlines. Call to wild. It says, but I say, he that soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he that soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. It says, every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity. For as the Most High loveth a cheerful giver. Okay, and of course we understand, that's referring to, in the sense of, in the physical sense to, tithes and things that you can do in the physical sense to provide charity into the church. All right, but we can also apply that in the spiritual sense. Okay, you have to give more. You have to invest in your faith, man. The more time that you spend, all right, because we understand time is the top currency. Okay, so the more time or more currency you invest into your faith, all right, the more you will be built up, all right, and the more you will reap, all right, when that time comes. Okay. It's like, the more time you invest in studying, you can tell, man. You're sharper out on the highways and hedges. All right, you're reaping more understanding from the spirit. Okay. These are the things that I'm speaking on, that the scriptures is talking about. It says, every man according as he purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly. All right. Don't give grudgingly, man, or out of necessity. You got to do this from the heart, man. This has to really be within your spirit to do. Okay? Because remember, the Lord judges the heart. All right? He judges your intention. It says, and the Most High is able to make all grace abound toward you, that ye always have all sufficiency in all things. It says, may abound to every good work. You see, so the Lord is going to take care of you regardless, man. All right, as long as you're doing your part, as long as you're investing in your faith. Okay. All right. You're sowing those seeds of righteousness. You're sowing those seeds in the spirit. All right. And of course, we know the Christian church uses that basically as a way to extort money out of the community. All right. But really what it's talking about in the spirit, it's talking about your time, man. You know, giving your time to the Lord. All right. Making sure that you have a healthy balance. Now, we understand, you know, that, of course, we got to work. You know, we have downtime where we got to be with family and things of that nature. But essentially, you know, majority of your time, really all of your time, you should be thinking about the Lord, praying, you know, studying, making sure you're incorporating fasting into your routine. All right. All of these things, man. All right. These are things that are going to help you when it pertains to these last and final hours, okay, that are about to come upon this earth, the hours of temptation. All right, so let me go grab another precept. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Excuse me. 11 and verse 6, it says, "In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand, for thou knowest not whether shall prosper, either this or that." It says, Salaki. It says either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. All right, I'm gonna read that also in the NLT. It says, "Plant your seed in the morning and keep busy all afternoon, for you don't know if profit will come from one activity or another, or maybe both." You see? So essentially saying, all right, to keep your hand to the plow, man. Okay? Don't just think because you did one good deed that, you know, that should suffice all. All right? Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, man. All right? Keep investing in your faith. Keep praying, fasting, you know, being charitable. Okay? Keep doing the things that you're supposed to do, man. Because you got to remember, there's no amount of praise that we can get a Heavenly Father that's going to be sufficient enough. All right? Our righteousness is as filthy rags. Okay? So we can always do more in the spirit. All right? Luke chapter 8 and verse Salaki, I think it's 8. Yep. This is the parable of the sower. I'm gonna just skip down to the point though. Luke chapter 8, and I'll start at verse 10, all right, where it basically goes into the interpretation. It says, "Unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom, but to the others in parables, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand." All right, and that's why it's our job to simply just do our job, all right, which is to preach the word. We don't have to try to force people to get the understanding. Certain people were just not meant to get it, all right? It was the same way back then, and it's the same way now, okay? You just have a certain section of individuals who just were not meant to receive the understanding of the Lord because they simply weren't chosen, okay? Verse 11, it says, "Now the parable is this, the seed is the word of the Most High." And that's right. Remember in Habakkuk, it said, when you got the word, all right, that he may run that readeth it, okay? Meaning what? He may endure, all right? He may endure the hardship that comes with the burden of the word, okay? And of course, it's a burden in this world, but in the spirit, we understand that it's yielding forth the peaceable fruits of righteousness, all right? And that's the beauty of pain. That's the beauty of suffering. That's the beauty of temptation, all right? It worketh a work on your mind and on your spirit, really it's all to strengthen you, okay? That's why even, I believe it was Paul who said, "In my weakness, I am made strong," okay? It says, verse 12, it says, "Those by the wayside are they that hear, and then cometh the devil and taketh away the word out of their hearts." You see, they weren't invested enough. All right, they didn't put enough currency, time into their faith to the point where, all right, Satan was able to come and easily persuade them to step back into the world. You see? It says that when the devil come and take it away, the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. Verse 13, it says, they on the rock are they which are they when they hear, receive the word with joy, and these have no root. It says, it says, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. You see? So in times of temptation, again, they didn't invest enough into their faith to the point where when they were tested, when they were actually put to the test, what happened? They fell into temptation, man. You know, they weren't able to overcome. All right. Verse 14, it says, and that which fell among thorns are they which, when they have heard, go forth and are choked with the cares and the riches and the pleasures of this life, and bring no fruit to perfection. You see? So instead of investing into their faith, they got distracted by the cares of the world. They got distracted by the glory that comes with it. All right. The riches, the pleasures. Okay. And they decided those things were more important to invest into than to invest into their faith. It says, but that on the good ground are they which in an honest and good heart, having heard the word, kept it, and bring forth fruit with patience. You see? No man, when he lighteth the candle, covereth it with a vessel, or putteth it under a bed, but setteth it on a candlestick, that they which enter in may see the light. And that's the thing. All right. Letting your light shine. All right. Letting your light shine upon men so that they may see. All right. And glorify your Father which is in heaven. That's the whole point. All right. This is all to the glorification of the Heavenly Father. This is not for our glory. Our glory is to come when we finish. Okay. Lord willing, we do. All right. But right now is not time for our glory. So that's why we got the light. And it's not really about getting the light, but it's about what are you doing when you do get the light. All right. Because some people get the light and they set it under that bushel, or they hide it. You see? But it's about what you do when you get the light. All right? You got to set it on high so that they may see and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So let me grab like two more precepts. I'm going to close out Galatians 6 and 7. It says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So whatever you put in is exactly what you're going to get out. All right? Don't be expecting to get some big reward when you didn't make big sacrifices. All right? Verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. And that's the whole point. It's going to come in due season, man. This is the greatest stock you can invest into. All right? It's the word of the Lord, man. Okay? The truth. That's simply what it is. All right? So let me grab one more. This Hosea. I wanted to get Hosea chapter 10 and verse 12. And I'll probably close out from there. Hosea chapter 10 and verse 12, it says, sow to yourselves in righteousness, reap in mercy, break up your fallow ground, for it is time to seek the Lord till he come and rain righteousness upon you. Okay? And that's really all the point right there, man. Right now is that time. You got to take advantage of that time while you have it, or else once that time is up, it's going to be too late. Okay? It's going to be too late, and you don't want it to get to that time where, the value of faith is at an all-time high, and you didn't invest in it while it was still, while you could still get it. Okay? You didn't invest while you could still get it. So hey, that's the point right there. It says, for it is time to seek the Lord till he come and rain righteousness upon you. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahbashim Yahushua, Bashim Rachak, with Dash, Lord willingness is edifying it to the elect. Until next time, Shalom.